In many of my videos, I've talked about the value of learning from senior colleagues and role models with decades of experience. This is an incredible way to get started in any career, and in procurement it's essential. But as you progress, you'll likely find that these learning opportunities with senior figures become fewer, and learning from superiors presents a unique challenge. It's a double-edged sword in a way. While they bring a wealth of experience, these are also often the people evaluating you, which can make receiving feedback more complex and harder to balance. So I believe learning from superiors should be something you approach with care and in controlled doses, especially as you grow in your career. An additional opportunity opened up for me early on as a procurement consultant. One of my first projects started with a large team of around 20 to 30 people, but gradually the team was reduced. Some exits were the result of client decisions, while others were due to budget cuts. After about 8 months, only 2 of us remained, Oliver and me. And what's remarkable is that the 2 of us carried on for nearly another year on that project, navigating everything together as we worked closely with the client. There were so many benefits to this unexpected arrangement. First, Oliver and I became friends, not because we were the last man standing, but because we genuinely got along. And just as importantly, we learned a tremendous amount from each other. For me, one of the things I admired about Oliver was his boldness. He would confidently walk into a board member's office and engage in a conversation, something I would have never dared to do without a formal invitation. He had studied in the United States and worked there for a time, which added an air of American informality to the quite rigid and formal German office environment we were in. Watching him in action inspired me to be bolder, to embrace a bit of that American-style openness, which added something to my approach I hadn't developed yet. Now I hope Oliver also learned something from me, but I'll let him decide that for himself. What I can say though is that we didn't just learn from watching each other. We actually created a structure to support our growth together. We knew we lacked the typical leadership that a larger team would have, so we established our own routines to keep learning, growing, and improving. That was especially important because without senior leadership to turn to daily, we had to become our own source of encouragement and improvement. One of the routines we set was to conclude every day with feedback. We'd sit down and share thoughts on what went well, what could have gone better, and give each other constructive suggestions. It wasn't formal, but it was extremely impactful. This peer-to-peer feedback loop kept us motivated, and it was a safe space to reflect openly on our experiences. Over the course of that year, I felt that I built the foundation of what has turned out to be a 30-year career in consulting. And I owe a large part of that growth to Oliver and the learning environment we created together. So Oliver, if you're watching this, thank you. I recognize that this experience, a year of 2 junior consultants essentially left to their own devices at a client, is quite unique. But I think there's inspiration here that's accessible for everyone. Peer learning is one of the most powerful and often overlooked aspects of career development. Working closely with someone at a similar level provides an invaluable opportunity to experiment, to learn openly, and to support each other in ways that might not be possible in traditional hierarchies. So if you're in procurement or any career, I encourage you to actively seek out learning from your peers. Look for colleagues who bring different perspectives or skill sets. It might be a coworker who approaches things differently, or someone who has a particular strength you'd like to develop. Don't hesitate to ask questions, share your observations, and even give each other feedback. Another way to create a peer learning environment is by establishing regular touchpoints. Consider setting up short weekly feedback sessions, just like Oliver and I did. These don't have to be formal. Even a 15-minute coffee break can provide a valuable opportunity to reflect on what has been working well and where both can improve. Over time, these small interactions add up to significant growth, and they help you build a network of trusted colleagues who can support you as you progress in your career. And remember, you don't need formal authority or a senior role model to keep learning. Sometimes the best lessons come from those who are walking the path right alongside you. Peer learning not only adds to your skill set, but also builds the relationships and support networks that make all the difference in a long, rewarding career. Thank you for joining me today. I am Schuh, and this has been Procurement in the Park. Stay tuned for more insights on building a successful career in procurement.